Feeling good. I don't own the rights to this music, and I just want you guys to know that. But it is my Friday vibe. So, never stress. Sunshine on my Sunday best. Okay, you guys, I'm really excited to be live with you today. I'm doing something a little bit different. I don't know if you can see my background. I'm in my husband's office, and where he does most of his broadcasting. I'm not in my normal space, so this is a little bit different. And then when I jumped on earlier, I jumped on the wrong website. Like, so that was pretty dramatic. But it's kind of like it's a Nicole thing to do. Went and took a walk around the neighborhood, feeling blessed, never stressed. The sunshine on my Sunday best. Yeah. Okay. How are you guys doing out there? Like, what's going on in your world? What's your vibe? How are you feeling? I'm waiting to hear how we're feeling. I'm going to share from like all my little socials, and that'll be fun. Tell people to join the party. Join the party. Are you guys loving these feature Fridays? Like, I genuinely do. So, they're a real blast for me. And it's really cool to hear families share their story and hearing it from a different perspective, because we don't always know like what people think. Like, as a doula or as an apprentice midwife, I don't know like what that mom actually feels. So I see their birth story from one perspective, which is mine, right? As an observer and outsider. And then there's an additional perspective that is from the moms, because she's like in the middle or in the thick of what's happening, and oftentimes not able to like step back and look at it. So this is really cool. Today I've got a special guest, and her name is Jasmine. Again, we had some technical difficulties because I'm in a different setup than I was once before. So it's kind of like a changing dynamic. But as soon as she gets on, I'm going to bring her on and she's going to join. She is here. Welcome.
Hey.
Hey, Jazz.
Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Yay. Okay, so let me tell you, this is a different setup than I'm used to because I'm in my husband's office. You see all the like, you know, I don't got time for this. But anyways, it's like his hobby. He's in it. So I'm excited to share and have you share your story and be in this different space. And I'm also like, his setup is pretty like, who, if I look this way, I'm not looking at the camera, but I'm actually seeing you
Oh,
here. But
cool.
when I look this way, I'm looking at the camera and I can't see you, but it looks like I'm looking dead at you, right?
Right.
Ooh. Ooh.
Good luck.
Okay, anyways. Um all right, let's go ahead and get started. I want you, Jasmine, just your locks, you got to twist it. You got some color.
Yeah, I did.
I like.
Look,
Okay, you look good. I
thank you.
love it. Tell me, just take a moment and introduce yourself to our audience. Let people know who you are and what's amazing about you and all that stuff.
Hey, you guys. I'm Jazz Sherelle, mother of two. And I mean, that's the biggest thing going on for me right now. I'm a mother of two. I've never done this before.
I love it.
It's been going on for about 3 months now. We just had Logic. And it's been a journey. It's been fun.
Yeah.
We have Legend. You'll see him soon, I'm sure.
So you tell me the names of your sons, because they are such unique names and also very powerful.
Thank
So
you.
I want our audience to just hear their names.
Oh, okay. Well, like I said, this is Logic. His name is Logic Jasiri Suja.
Ooh,
And his middle and last name is actually Swahili and
okay.
means brave warrior.
I love that.
And his big brother, which is two, his name is Legend Hakima Suja. And his middle and last name is also Swahili and it means wise warrior.
Nice. I
So,
love it.
their dad had a lot to do with their names.
Yeah.
Yeah, he birthed those names before they even came out.
Yeah. And it's powerful. I'm a big advocate of names and how we name our children and how we impart names to them really speaks a lot to who they are, who they will become, and because you're calling them that every day, and so you're speaking that life into them, and or that destiny upon them. So I will say this: I really don't love like Chastity, that name, because it's rough, right? Like you just
Yeah,
set somebody up for.
yeah,
I feel like that's a setup,
do
but so yeah, I think people think sometimes I'm a little obsessive or weird, like when it comes to the names, like of my kids. But I don't think so. I think it's important to impart part of you into your children and they get to carry that. So it's an honor to like pass that your name along. Um, I don't know. Anyways, I can get all like
No,
super
I feel,
spiritual on that, but
and it's always good to have a story behind each name
mhm.
and have a story to tell your kids. My mom and dad do, so it's good to know we're gonna have to tell them what we see in them with their name.
Yes, yes. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, so I'm just gonna get into it. Look at him. Oh my gosh. He's so sweet. He very much looks like I'm logical here and I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, you should see the way he watches things. I feel like he's gonna say something about it not making sense.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he stares at things all the time. I'm like,
But,
man, we said
I
our
don't think that's logical. I don't support it.
because I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I love it. I love it. Well, Jasmine, go ahead and just kind of tell us a little bit about your birth experience. So, where did I'm just gonna like prompt you with some questions and then like to kind of lead you into the story because I know sometimes it's helpful to get that
Mm-hmm.
little leadway. Okay, so where did you have Logic?
I had Logic at home in my living room
Okay.
on this couch.
Right where we sit. This is where
Right
he was
where we
born.
are. Yes, it has since been dry cleaned and taken care of. Everything was well, covered really, really well. Thank you guys for that. But yes, I had Logic here at home
Uh-huh.
couch at 6:33 in the morning.
Sweet. Okay, so tell me, what made you decide to birth Logic at home? What's your history with home birth or your thoughts about it? Just give me a little background on that.
So I had his older brother Legend. I had him at home
Okay.
2 years ago in 2019. I had him at home, and that's exactly what I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
When I found out I was pregnant with Legend, I immediately knew I'm having a home birth. I want to do it. I want to do it. I want to do it. But the reason why I wanted to do it was I was watching The Breakfast Club one day, and there was this guy on there talking about how we should birth, and it
Mm.
sounded really, really good. And honestly, I really don't watch Breakfast Club, but one day I clicked on it, and it happened to be this guy. I don't even remember his name. He's not like big out there on
Mm-hmm.
one of those Hollywood realms, but he was speaking to them about just natural birth and kind of comparing us to how animals do it, just nature.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it made so much sense. And I was like, you know what? I said, if I ever have a child, I'm gonna do home birth. Had no idea
Wow.
what I was talking about
Wow.
then, but just that interview with that guy inspired me enough to say that I would try it out. No one had ever in my family done it besides my grandmother,
Hmm.
and no one has ever talked about it. I never
Yeah.
met anyone. I have met one person that did it, and when they did it, I was not shocked, surprised, honored, wowed. I had no
Hmm.
idea what childbirth was at the time. I just knew that she had her child at home, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, we could do that. Yeah.
Really, it didn't hit me until I
Yeah.
saw the interview, and then I was like, if I ever have children, I want to try that. And as soon as I saw those two stripes on that on that test, I knew. I said, I'm gonna do a home birth. I'm gonna do a home birth, and I stuck with that.
I love it.
And what's crazy is people really did try to steer me away from it.
Mm, mm.
um, Me and their dad, we made sure that we had our mindset, and we put our foot down on it, and that's how we wanted to do it,
Yeah.
and it
Yeah.
really worked out in our favor on both ends. I'm very, very grateful that both of them were birthed at home.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. And so here's a cool thing. I feel like you might be the inspiration for another woman that was sitting just like you watching the show and then came across their screen and all of a sudden like we're ready to have this baby at home, like committed to doing that. So
Yeah.
first I want to say thank you for coming and thank you for sharing your story because it is a big deal and it does change and normalize people's experience, like, and
It
thinking
does.
outside of the box, like you can have a baby in more places than just the hospital. And not saying the hospital is like an awful place to have your baby, but you can have your baby at home and that's not an awful place to have your baby,
Right.
right? Like
Great.
the place that you
Kind of
made the baby.
like, having a baby at home is kind of like making that decision to go natural, or
Mhm.
making that decision to eat on a healthier realm.
Mm.
Well, to me, and I was already headed in that direction. Before
Right.
I even got pregnant with my first child, I was trying my best to understand vitamins, take care of my body, and boom, I got pregnant. And I blame taking care of my body on getting pregnant. I'm like, I
Yeah.
feel like that had something to do with it.
Yes.
Then
Yes.
also my hair. When I went natural, I had no idea what I was going into, but
Mhm.
it's been a great experience. And I'm really, really proud that I chose this path. And birth is just the same. And I'm just proud of myself
I
too.
love it.
Oh, I mean, I want to work on so much more. I'm not perfect, but at the same time, I like the way I move. And having
Mhm.
a natural birth at home, it just added to who I am. And
Yeah.
it just made me feel even better about the decisions that I've made in life with, transitioning and doing things on a natural level.
Mhm. I Jasmine, I love that. Like that's I don't think it could have been said or put out any better.
Seriously though.
He's like, "Okay,
Oh, sorry.
look at him looking at you."
He'll be admiring me in a minute. Give
I
him a minute. He'll gaze at
love it. I love it. So, okay, you decided you want to have your baby at home. This was the second time you had your baby at home. So, can you do a little compare and contrast of your birth experiences? Like,
me.
what did you find? What were you in love with your birth with Legend? And what did you want to improve from your birth with Legend when you got to birthing Logic?
um, with Legend, I really trying to find something to enjoy about this birthing. Trying to find out how I can say I enjoyed something.
Mm.
It
So do you feel like the birth with Legend was
was so
challenging?
fresh. You think you know something and you have no idea.
Mm.
And that was the biggest thing about Legend. We could all talk, and we could talk about breathing, about a lot of things, and then when it actually happens, it's like, oh, this is what you were talking about.
Right.
Oh, this
Right.
is what you meant.
Right.
And I had to jump into that mode and think about what we did talk about, and that was hard to do. But with Legend, I really think the best part was
Getting him out. No.
yes, getting him out. I really feel like that was the best part. of figuring it out and getting it done and being happy that we got it done. We were so shocked. It was like, wow, we really did that.
Yeah.
Like, whew,
Yeah.
we really did that after talking all of that.
Uh-huh.
We proved ourselves. I think that was honestly the best part.
Right. Right.
That it was just proving that we could do it.
Yes. And so because you had so many naysayers and so many people trying to talk you out of it and say, don't do that, or it's dangerous, or whatever whatever the words were.
Mhm.
Um, so there was a sense of accomplishment and victory, like, oh yeah, we did that. Like,
Yes, like
right here, we did that.
unfortunately, I did hear some stories that I didn't want to hear, but this is from other people's experience, and
Yeah.
people have tried it and they were not able to go through with it.
Mhm.
But I was able to speak with people that were. So I was just fingers crossed that my story could have been on the end that, man, I really hope I can tell this story.
Right.
Having a
Right.
natural birth. And that's, like I said, that is the accomplishment. And that's all their dad does is brag. That's all he does is brag about that.
I love it. I love it.
About natural
Okay.
birth and having our child at home and breastfeeding because we're doing it. So he's excited to brag about it.
I love it. I love it.
No,
Okay.
damn it. Gosh.
You're like, let me get this settled. Let me get this settled.
2-year-old and 2-month-old on deck.
The 2 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
The what do we call it? What do you say? Double troubles. That's what.
Yep.
So, okay, let's jump into Logic's birth. And tell me a little bit about, there's some things about Logic's birth that I want to talk about, but I'm going to let you talk about from your perspective what that was like in the, like the heat of it. Like, tell us your birth story.
Well, so with Logic's birth, overall, I went into it with a little more, sense of direction of what's going to happen, how things are going to feel, what to expect. But I still end up ignoring everything. It's kind of like with Legend, and that's when it's just like everything still went out the window when that labor set in.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
still was it still was different. It's like I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. I knew what was coming. And, I knew immediately when the first contraction hit. I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Here we go.
I actually had walked up and down my steps at home. Sarita had told me just get on the steps, go up and down the steps as much as you can. And that's what I did, and about a few hours later, it started happening. But it was real calm. I just sat up in the bed while everyone was asleep and dealt with it. Then the next day came, and I made sure to let everybody know, hey, I know this is it. Head this way.
This is happening. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And what was different once everything started was I actually got to do some things that I didn't get to do for Legend because I really completely blacked out of whatever we said we were going to do.
Right. Right. Okay. Okay.
But with Logic, I actually did get to watch Martin during my early labor. That was one of the things I wanted to do at Legend, and I didn't. But this time, I got to sit back and watch Martin and laugh. And
I love that.
It really, really helped.
Yeah.
Faith, she came by and she was really, really a great help, just keeping me calm. And she was watching the show and enjoying herself as well.
I love that.
And then I thought to myself, I should take that tea that Sarita told me to take. But I stopped thinking about that because I was like, no, I'm in labor. This is real.
Yeah, this is real.
I don't need to take the tea. Eventually, with the help of the Ujima Maternity Network, everything just kind of fell into place once they showed up, and I was really, really happy because sometimes you just don't know what's going on, and it really helps when someone's there to look in your face and be like, "We need you to do this because this is what's happening." Reminds you, oh yeah, I am in labor. Let me go this way. Let me move this way.
Yeah.
And after a few turns and stretches and breathing and water breaking, back rubbing,
a whole
low moans, Beyonce.
Yes.
Oh man, now that I've had Logic, I really wish I could have danced with Beyonce, but he wouldn't let me. So, But still, Beyonce came.
She did. She did. That that's probably like one of my favorite moments, like with your story, is because we had been Sarita and I, were at your birth. And we had been like on the road and moving and all over the place. So we were kind of exhausted, really kind of stepping into this. And this was the beginning of um, my personal journey with a company called Purium. And I've talked about it before, like the superfoods and all of that. So I had some Can't Beat This in my bag and my power shake. And so we were kind of like, ooh, feeling a little slumped, right? And I was like, you know what? I'm about to go in this kitchen. So I asked Big Legend, I was like, hey, you have a little blender, a little mix or something? And he was like, you got this? And he was like, putting everything out here. And I was like, okay, boom. I took that girl. And that's when Beyonce came.
Right.
And I just remember looking at you in the pool and you were like, whoa, like having your whole moment. And I was like, dun, 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 yeah.
You guys were tearing the floor up. And Michael said, you just don't get that anywhere. You just don't. Well, Big Legend, he said that. He's like, you don't get that anywhere. You're not going to be able to do that much, with Beyonce.
Right.
Anywhere else besides your home.
Yes, yes. I loved it. It was one of my favorite moments. And I think that has been really a catapult to change, some of my dynamics and how I manage labor as a support person. So that was awesome. And I appreciated the moment with you.
Good. Good. Well, you guys came in, you pumped it up. You did not let down on me at all. You just, pushed me to the next level, pushed me to the next level.
Yeah.
I cried once. I shedded tears with Sarita. Or maybe I cried twice. I don't remember. I know I fell asleep a lot.
He was like, there was tears, there was sleep, there was movement. Yeah. It all happened.
Yeah, I felt a lot. One of the biggest things with this one was how I pushed Logic out. I wasn't expecting to push him out the way I did. I really thought I was going to be in the water. Once got a little information about the cervix being a little swollen, the position, and I felt Logic come out. I really felt him come out. The water helped Legend. Legend literally slid out. I didn't. Logic, I really felt myself push, and it's an experience to do something like that. So that was the main things and the difference between both births. But at the end of the day, I'm so glad that we were able to get it done, and we didn't immediately go to the hospital or anything of that nature.
Yeah. We had some conversations, and I remember there were moments when there were some moments, and I want you to talk about some of those moments, if you can recall, like some of the bigger moments that were kind of transitionary or like a change in your thought process or what you had to do to like get him here. Because I remember there was a moment where it was like, we have two options. And what we about to do, you know what I mean? And I feel like you turned that corner. I'll talk about that. Do you remember what I'm talking about?
Yes, the giving in moment where you could, or I was feeling so defeated.
Yeah.
At that point, I was just like, man, I don't know how much longer it's gonna take. I don't know what's going on at this point, and I'm tired. That's how I felt.
Yep.
But you came in and you pep talked me to a point where I knew that I couldn't tell you I was tired anymore. I was like, well, once you told me it's gonna be one way or the other, I knew I was gonna have my baby at home after that. So where that whole suck it up moment came in, and I blew my last big breath and made my last loudest scream.
And where'd you blow your breath and make that scream?
Because you're crazy. Oh. You're holding my hands as I'm in the pool, and you're on the outside of the pool, just letting me know, hey, you got to keep on. You can't go to sleep. Take it somewhere else.
Yep.
We held hands for a minute. I took a deep breath. I pushed my face in your chest, which was oh so comfortable, by the way. And I screamed as hard as I could. And everyone just watched, with
Yeah.
patience. And
Yeah.
that's another thing I appreciate, the patience. Everybody just
Yes.
like, okay, you finished with that scream, all right. So I'm gonna squeeze your back one more time. Yeah, everyone was so calm. When I pushed out in your chest, I was like, okay, now what do you guys want me to do?
I'm ready to work now. I just needed to get that out. And now I'm ready to get into it. I love it. I love
Okay,
it.
help me
That
have
was
this baby.
genuinely one of my favorite moments. And I was like, just kind of like there. And I was like, she's really working through this. And okay, let me let her work through it. And now we're gonna have to turn this page because we gotta get to moving. We gotta get to moving. So and you did, and you took that critique, you took that edit, you took your moment, um, and released the fear, the anxiety, the tension, the exhaustion, I'm over this. I want to do something different. And you released it. And as soon as you released it, you were like, okay, let's go. And that was beautiful. And I feel like we have to honor that space for every woman when she's like, I'm at the point of no return, but I also like, if I could return, I'm returning. I'm like done. Okay, have that moment and then let's push it. Let's keep it pushing.
Right,
And you did exactly that. Like you had
right.
the moment
Telling me it's gonna
and you
be
kept it
here. We're
pushing.
gonna have to go ahead and admit you. I was like, no, you're not. So we stop playing. Show them what I'm about. Having this baby in the house.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I don't know how he's coming out, but I'm not leaving.
I love it. Stop playing. Like this is we're not doing this. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love it. I love it. I
Even after the entire experience, I was like, man, my emotion is, and I can tell you, I am a poker face chick. Like I can hold a face
Mhm.
through a lot of things. But that right there, just birth itself. Can you hear me? Okay? Because I
Yeah.
have Legends having a ball.
Yeah.
Hey,
It's good.
stop that up and down, please, please. You push it. You push it. Okay. So push.
And this is parenting. And welcome to parenting.
Yes. So where was I?
You were just talking about like pushing through, right? Like
Yes, just one thing I learned about myself is
mm,
I really
your
I let
poker
my
face.
guard down, and that's okay. I do not show that side of me at all. It's hard
Mm,
to see me cry. It's hard to see me let you know that I'm hurting or I'm feeling low.
mhm.
But
Mhm.
childbirth, I have to release it, and
Yeah.
I learned that there's nothing I can do about that part.
Yeah. Yeah.
As I can be, that these kids aren't gonna let me have a poker face, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay.
Yes.
I'm learning that with parenting and just allowing them to be themselves as well. Like
Yeah.
I can't have a poker face and keep them from doing what they want to do and being who they want to be.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I let it all out during birth, and I'm okay with it.
Yeah. I love that you felt comfortable. Well, one, like I think it's something to note. Like when a woman or a family they choose to birth at home, their birth team they are inviting those people into their space, and so it's an honor to be invited into someone else's space. And so you need to tread lightly and delicately, so that the person whose home you're in they feel at ease and at home to be themselves, and so that freedom to let your guard down is vital, and that's what you had.
Yeah.
Because one, we were in your space, but then two, I feel like there has to be a level of comfort with the people that you're working with in order to feel that free, right?
Yes.
um so I think that's a beautiful thing, and that's important and powerful for me to make sure that I'm wherever I am, I'm helping to facilitate an environment that my client feels like she can do what she needs to do and be vulnerable and doesn't have to like have that poker face and do all the things, right? Like where she can just just be yourself and vibe and thrive,
Right.
which is what you did.
I appreciate it. I don't know if you guys fussed about me when it was over, but you didn't show it.
Mm-mm.
At
No.
um at the house when we were actually going through labor and everything. And I can appreciate that. I did worry a little when it was over. I'm like, man, I wonder if I was too dramatic, or I hope I didn't hold them too much. I knew you guys had a lot more work to do. Right that same day that I was having them, you had a whole clinic, and I was like, oh, I'm so glad I got it done right before
Yeah.
the clinic started. And I hope I didn't wear them out too much.
Yeah. No.
Hope I'm not their worst client. And
It was, you did say that. You was like, I hope I'm not your worst. And I made a face. I was like, let me see. Let me see my Rolodex. I mean, it just messing with you because birth is birth. And sometimes it's like, ooh, I birthed a child. And other times it's like, ooh, I'm warring with like this process, this
right.
idea, this experience. Um, and it can be all of those things. So
Mhm.
I love it. I'm here for it. I'm here for you. I'm here for how you do what you do. I understand that this is the end, right? Or are you guys open for more? Like,
Personally,
uh-huh.
if it happens, okay, but I'm 35. And yes, if you want to do it past that age, go for it. But me personally, I really want to get back to some things to help build them as people. And
Yeah.
at the age that I'm at now, I know where my head is. I know what I can do, and I just want to take the necessary steps to be a mom now. I
Yeah.
think I can do it again.
I love that. I
And that's
love that.
another one. I
And
think I can do it again.
yeah, and I think knowing when is also important. So I'm down for that. I support that. Um I want to see, is there any tips that you want to give families or friends or women that are like listening to this
Stop.
story?
Just one moment.
Okay, okay. I'm just gonna talk about
Stop.
stuff till she
Everybody
come
look.
back. I'm just laughing. She's like, let me mute myself. Um, like there's so many things that we experience and we encounter, and things that cause us to feel empowered and things that cause us to feel like, ooh, not empowered. So I just want to encourage anybody out there that's like wondering, is home birth for me? If you can find yourself in a space and you feel comfortable, then yeah, home birth is for you. If you're low risk, home birth is for you. So home birth is for low risk moms that are looking to have probably a more intimate experience, and then be able to control the narrative a little bit more as far as the people that are in her space, who comes, who goes, when they come, when they go. You have a lot more autonomy when you're birthing at home. There are some rules that have to be followed with anything, but that freedom overall and that autonomy overall is really a beautiful thing. It's a gift. So yeah, go ahead, Jazz. Any last thing or any final thing you want to share with families out there?
Okay, so can you hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. Well, if I could give anybody any tips is, go with your right mind. If you feel like, you can't take it, or if you feel like this is really what you want to do, focus on that.
Mhm.
Do your research. It's not going to be ever enough that the next person can tell you. Do your own research, and get comfortable with some things, and ask as many questions as you can to feel comfortable
Yeah.
um, with having a home birth.
Mhm.
That's how I got through it. I asked as many questions as I could the first time. I asked the second time, based on new things that I wanted to experience or
Yeah.
didn't understand from the first experience. If you've had a C-section, it's still possible to have natural birth. I actually know mothers that have had natural births right after
Absolutely.
3 C-sections.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
do your research. It's not always about what somebody tells you. Sometimes they just have to go by the book and go
Yeah.
by what their policies tell them to tell you. But sometimes it's best to do your own research and speak to other people about things to understand some things that is okay. It's
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Um, and then another thing is it's okay to be yourself. We can all try to be the strongest woman that we can. Kudos to you if you can do this without cervical checks no one pressing you, and you can just close your eyes and make it happen. If not, just flow the way you can flow,
Yeah.
and go from there. Don't worry about trying to have a low lit room and the right music playing, because you're still gonna have that, baby.
Yeah.
you know
Yep.
it didn't
Yep.
get any of that with Legend, even though I wanted all of that, and he
Mm-hmm.
still came out just fine.
Yep.
Sometimes you just have to go with the flow.
Go with the flow. I
um,
love it.
and then when it does come time to be in labor, try your best to focus on the purpose at hand and getting it done. Do not be annoyed by the people around you. Do not be annoyed by the time. Do not be annoyed by just anything. I know people will be calling. You've got social media now, and just a lot of things going on. Or people may not show up like you thought they would on particular times, and
Yeah.
you still go with the flow. You still practice your breathing. And you still prepare yourself, because you're the biggest, person in this race. You're the driver. Everyone
Yes.
else is just on your crew.
Yep.
You
Yep.
have to drive this properly. So
Absolutely.
that's the biggest thing.
Absolutely. I love it. I love it. Logic agrees.
You agree, right?
I
He just wants to stand up. Don't you want to stand up?
love it. He's such a little man. I mean, both your boys got like just grown men faces, and
He smells.
I love it. I love I love it. Well, thank you, Jazz, for so much for taking the time to share your story and then give advice and support to other women that are out there and, looking to do things maybe a little bit different. It is possible. So I'm glad to have had you, and I'm glad you were able to take this time and share. Um, and I'm proud of you. Like I really am. I
Yes,
felt like
and thank
you
you.
did the dang thing, and you
Thank
did
you
it.
for being there to help me do the thing.
Yeah.
That's having a good support system is good. Trust me, if I was by myself, I probably would have walked to a hospital or something. But so it's always good to have a good support team.
Yeah.
I'm happy that I told you guys. I'm happy I was referred to you guys. I didn't know where I was headed when I got pregnant the second time because of the pandemic, and you guys came through on so many different levels. You know what I'm talking about. So
Yep.
thank you so much,
Yes. I
Rita,
love it.
Latera, Faith. Shout out to their dad, Big Legend.
Yep.
My support team was great. I'm happy that you guys were ready to make this happen.
Awesome. You have a great day, Jazz.
You too. Bye, you guys. I gotta get back to work.
All right. You guys, I just am so thankful for this opportunity to have shared with you guys, and for Jasmine to have been able to share a little bit of her story and her experience with you guys. And so if you are interested in maybe sharing a birth story, feel free to leave a comment if you'd like to share your birth story for a future feature Friday. I'm booked out through September, through the I think the third week in October for Feature Friday Birth Story Hours. Also, don't forget to like, share, and comment and subscribe. So like, share, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'm really excited. So Feature Fridays will air on my Facebook page, the Nurturing Arrows Doula Coaching Services Facebook page, and then it will also be available later on my YouTube channel. So I'm working on kind of pumping that YouTube channel up and getting it to be awesome. So the more subscribers I have, the better it is and the more pumped it's about to be. So let's do this. Let's do this. You guys have an amazing day. You be blessed. Stay safe. Find your peace. Take some time and like do some inward reflections and find the beauty in this day. Let someone know that you love them, that you care about them. Yeah, let's vibe next time.